Um, I'm going to talk about combating food insecurity by mainstreaming sustainable land use or sustainable land management. And I'm going to talk about the case of farmer managing natural regeneration in Niger. Farmer managing natural regeneration is really an agroforestry technique that help people in Niger to restore millions of hectares in less than 30 years. It's a very simple technique that farmer can apply very easily. I have only 8 minutes. I wish to have 1 hour in order to talk about this technique, talk in detail the various impacts that farmer obtain from this technique. In terms of context or challenges that now, in terms of food security and climate change, Sahelian countries have faced, one of the challenge is the increase in human population. Human population where in these areas, I think the rates of human increase are almost 3.6%, one of the highest in the world. So this is a very serious challenge. And this point leads to pressure on natural resources because the lands are not increasing, but human beings who really need land, especially in rural areas, to get their livelihood is another challenge. The second or the third, it's something that you may all know in the arid land in West Africa, the recurrent droughts, and also the desertification that is threatening the livelihood of the people. And the increase of human population, pressure on natural resources, and the droughts that compromise food security in the areas. But for many years, since the big drought of 70s and 80s in the Sahel, there are a lot of efforts that were taken by the various governments in order to improve the environment, combat desertifications, and also get the people, the population that is increasing, to get more food. If you look at these pictures, this is 1955, and the black dots are the trees in the farm. And then later on, 75, just after the big drought of 1973, you could see how the number of black dots have dramatically reduced. And then in 2005, you see there's really an improvement in terms of tree density as well as tree diversity. And we evaluated it just recently in 2 regions of Niger, only Zinder and Maradi, where there's 4.8 million of hectares that were restored. And on-field inventory has shown that we may have from 40 to 100 and sometimes 200 trees per hectares, which is really incredible, where we've gone from 0 to 200 trees per hectares. Is really a big effort. No? Or some of the impacts, in fact, Chris Reij has stated most of the impacts of this regreening There's a strong increase in cereal yields and other dry seasonal crops. Farmers do sow their crops only once, because before, at the onset of the rainy season, farmers sow 2, 3, 5 times sometimes before the crops can be established. But now, because of the protection given to the soil and the environment by the trees, is only once that they sow their crops. That's improve household food security through nutrition and firewood availability. Madam Mati said that before, to get firewood is really a serious problem for women in rural areas in the Sahel. They can go up to 10 kilometers in order to get firewood to come and prepare food, but now, through their efforts, they have the wood just around their vicinities. General increase in biodiversity and additional revenues. That's what she said also. And in terms of some of the impact, in terms of grain yield, grain production, you could see this Dennis Garrity, the general director of IFPRI, who were in Niger about 3 weeks ago. And then we visited some farmers. And when he saw the millet, he asked me, Larwanu, who is the owner of this? And we saw somebody coming, and we asked him, he said, this is my production. Did you use any fertilizer? He said, no single grain of fertilizer. He gets all the crop through manure from Federbia albida, which is a leguminous tree species, fertilize the soil, and increase the production of their annual crops. And for this particular species, you may see some farmers do keep up to 100 or 200 trees per hectare, because it's a tree that has a reverse phenology. It does not compete with crops. During the rainy season, it loses its leaves, and it's only after the rainy season that it regains again. Those are some of the production also. Some of the cases in terms of tree density in the farm, up to 200, and with regard to the age of the trees. Some of the impact also that farmers obtain in their farms. And also, baobab. It's one of the trees that farmers do keep in their farms. And it's used by women. Yes, because it's used every day for their sauce, and also the extra production in terms of leaves and pods, they can take it to the market and get some extra income. In terms of soil fertility improvements and productivity by trees, that are some of the points. And this farmer-managed natural regeneration, some studies show that farmer-managed natural regeneration cannot be considered as an alternative to mineral fertilizer, but really it comes as a complement. Yes, it increases the productivity of the annual crops. Like you see, this is the production with farmer-managed natural regeneration alone, mineral fertilizer, and if you combine the two, you see how we can increase the biomass production, which is very, very important. And in conclusion, I can say that to increase the food production or food security in the arid zones, there are some points to be considered. The trees, yes, but if you couple it, the trees with mineral fertilizer, and also try to manage the water through the water conservation techniques, I think in the Sahel we can double or quadruple our crop production. And this is some of the things that we should consider. And I think through the efforts that have been carried out in the Sahel, if we can use some other water conservation techniques, with a little bit effort of applying mineral fertilizer, the farmers can really achieve their food productivity.